We're going to work on constructing box plots, starting on page 12. We'll do a little bit of this by hand, and then we'll also do some calculator work. So we're going to compare performances in agility tests for 4th grade girls and boys. We have a list of boys here, we have a list of girls, and excuse me, there's actually 11 boys and 14 girls in this data set. So we want to sort the data in ascending order. If you're doing this by hand, you need this in order to find the 5-number summary. And if you remember from the last lesson, the 5-number summary was the minimum value, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and maximum value. So we're going to just do it by hand now, but this 5-number summary. So first of all, for the min and max, we'll use the sorted list. The maximum for boys is 29, minimum for boys is 17, and the range, remember, is the difference in those two is 12, and that's reported as a single number. For the girls, maximum 28, minimum is 12, and the range then is 16. So we can see that the range is bigger for the girls than it is for the boys. That'll be evident on the box plot as well. In finding the median, we're going to just use the formula n plus 1 over 2, and that's the only formula that you need. If n is odd, the median will be the datum that sits exactly in the middle of the data set. If it's even, the median is going to be the mean of the middle two data pieces. And the median is the 50th percentile, so you can think of it as a percentile as well. So the median for the boys, since there are 11 data values, for the boys we get 11 plus 1 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is the 6th position. And if you go up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this kind of will end up then being the lower half. There's 5 on the upper half, not exactly half, obviously. And then there is the median, the 6th position. For the girls, since there's 14 data values, 14 plus 1 over 2, 15 over 2, or 7.5. So it's actually between the 7th and 8th data value. So if we come up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's the lower 7, and then there should be 7 left up here, and there is. The median then is the average of these two data values, and you can show it to you mathematically, but it's easy enough to see that it's 23. So the median for the boys is 22. From an odd data set size was easy to get. Median for the girls, an even sized data set, you have to find the average of the two middle numbers. So those are the medians. Lower quartile. What you can do and what your calculator will do is it'll just take the bottom 50%, leaving out the median, and then it's going to find quartile 1 will be the midpoint of this. So it's almost like taking a median of just that lower part of the data. So you can clearly see that's going to be 18, quartile 1 for boys. For the girls, quartile 1, there's 7 data values, so it's going to be exactly the center of the 7 data values. 20 for the girls. And then the upper quartile, quartile 3, is done the same way, just with the upper data. So the middle of this is 23 for the boys, and the middle of this is 25 for the girls. So we're going to graph this by hand on a box plot, but before we do that, let's verify these values with our calculator. So if you haven't done it already, put these data values in your calculator, list 1, list 2. And then you can pause the video while you do that, and then come on back, and what we're going to do is go to we're going to hit stat, and this is to find the 5-number summary on your calculator. Stat, calc, one variable stats, so it's number 1. And then you put the list, so we'll start with the boys, list 1. Frequency can stay blank, that would just be if you had a separate list of frequencies. I'm going to hit calculate, and it actually shows a bunch of values. We'll use some of these later, but I'm going to scroll down. That arrow means there's more information, and it shows the minimum is 17, that's here. Quartile 1 is 18, we got that right here. Median is 22, quartile 3 is 23, and I hit the wrong button. Go grab that again. Max is 29. So we confirm that on our calculator. Alright, you can do the same thing with the list of girls. Use list 2, and you will confirm these values. So what we're going to do is create what's called a skeletal box plot. It's a simple box plot. We're going to stack them vertically, boys and girls together with the same scale. Anytime you're putting two box plots together where you can compare them, you always want to have the same scale. So let's do the boys first. And basically what we're going to do, I like to just start with the we start with the median, quartile 1 and quartile 3. We're going to build a box, a rectangular box in the center of this. And I'm just going to use this space up here to put this box plot. The median for the boys is 22. I'm going to put a vertical bar at 22. Quartile 1 for the boys is 18. Put another vertical bar there, preferably in the same line. Quartile 3 for boys is 23. And we're going to connect those. Then that's the box that represents, since it's from quartile 1 to quartile 3, it represents the middle 50% of the data. And then we're going to do our mins and maxes. So the minimum was 17. So we're going to just do a vertical bar there. And the max was 29. We'll do a vertical bar there. And then this is the whisker part of the box and whisker. Connect those. So that represents 100% of the data. And in each piece we have 25% of the data. So there's 25% of the data here, 25% of the data here, so that 25% is more spread out. Here's another tightly grouped 25%, and then the highest group is more spread out. Same thing for girls. The median for the girls was 23. Quartile 1 for the girls is 20. Quartile 3 for the girls is 25. Connect those. Make your middle 50%. And then we'll get those whiskers. The minimum for girls is 12. Maximum for girls is 28. And there's the box and whisker plot for the girls. So you can see the girls is much more spread out. The median for the girls is higher. There's a lot of different things you could say about this. Like, also consider this. For the boys, that's the bottom 75%. For the girls, that's the upper 75%. Girls have a much lower value on the low end than the boys do. Upper end, not that much different. The median is not that much different. So a lot of things you can compare there. Okay, I'm going to quit this video and then we'll do the next page on the next video.